Big Cookware hates him. Local man discovers this one weird trick to make non-stick pans last longer. Oh, hey there, it's me, the local man who discovered the one weird trick to make these things last longer. See, before, I was going through these quite often. I've probably, throughout my life, spent hundreds of dollars on non-stick pans. I tend to try to avoid them as best as I can, but sometimes it just can't be helped. Sometimes you need something that's really good at being non-stick, better than practically anything else, and that includes my beloved cast iron pans. My experience with these would always be the same. So you start with the honeymoon phase and you buy it, it's brand new and it works fantastic, which lasts about seemingly a month before things start sticking. Not a lot, not enough for me to get upset, but eventually it just gets worse and worse before the whole pan becomes just completely unusable and then I have to throw it away. But I think I figured out why that is. And what I found is it comes down to two simple reasons. How you cook with it and how you clean it. It sounds almost stupid, but there are some very subtle things in cooking and cleaning that tend to damage the pan gradually over time. This video is specifically about my Calphalon pan, which is essentially Teflon, but I do believe this applies to basically any kind of non-stick pan. Now you know the commercials, right?
Oh, it's just got the steel and it's invincible and you can use metal tools on it and then...
Yeah, that's all complete nonsense. The first thing you need to do when cooking, always use a silicone spatula. Silicone or wood, nothing else. Treat the surface as if it was brittle, because it is. Now this pan, I've had it probably for, I want to say 3 or 4 months. It still looks brand new. Not a single scratch, not a single defect. It really does look brand new. And I've never had that experience before. The second thing you don't want to do, aside from using anything but these kinds of utensils, is overheating the pan. So we never want to, hello cat, yes, we never want to exceed medium heat on a non-stick pan. Never ever. Number 2, we never want to cook dry on a non-stick pan. They will overheat rather quickly. High heat will basically destroy any kind of coating, no matter what. And that includes my beloved cast iron pans. So you don't want to overheat. Medium heat only, right? Now that's just atrocious. I'm sorry about that. But regardless, this simply means that never leave the frying pan unoccupied with food. Never dry fire it. So that also means you kind of want to spread it around, making sure that you're not creating any inadvertent hot spots while you're cooking something. And like I said, let's say I want it over easy, so I'm just going to use my silicone spatula and just flip the egg over. Alright, now that we're done, let's recap. There are 3 things to take away from this portion of the video. When cooking with a non-stick, use wooden or silicone utensils. Number 2, limit your heat to medium, never any higher. And number 3, always make sure that there's something in the pan ready to be cooked, and always make sure that there's oil in the pan while you're cooking. So that pretty much covers the cooking aspect of it. But the real secret to making this last long comes in the next part, which is in cleaning these pans. Now I've got 4 things in here that I could use to clean the pan with. The scrubber, and that's going to be a no. This copper pad, which is going to be a no. This plastic scouring pad, that's also going to be a no. And even this sponge, that's going to be a no. Every single one of these items can and will scratch the pan. It won't be obvious at first, even if you're gentle, but eventually the scratches will build up enough to make the pan utterly useless. And so, what is the secret? Here it is. This is why
Big Cookware
hates this man right here. Here's how we clean it. Make sure that the pan is more or less cool or warm to the touch, because the one thing we don't want to do is to shock the pan. So if your pan is still red hot and you start dumping water on it suddenly, that's going to destroy the coating. No material enjoys thermal shock. It makes it brittle, and Teflon is no exception, I believe. So, are you ready? This is the secret. I'm going to run some hot water. If the pan is still relatively hot, I'm going to gently spritz a little bit of water on it so that it can gradually cool off. Once I'm relatively confident that the pan temperature is right around the water temperature, I'm just going to hose it off. Because, I mean, remember, if indeed it is a non-stick pan, then food has no business sticking to it. Once it is rinsed off and any extra food scraps are gone, all I do is I dab a little bit of dish soap on it. Once again, run the water on it. This gets any oils and grease off. Once no soap remains, I mean, look, it's basically clean. And the last thing I'm going to do, all I'm going to do is I'm going to gently run this paper towel and dry my pan. That's it. That's how you clean it. And so that's it. That's all you need to know. Never overheat it, medium heat, wooden and silicone utensils, always have food in it, and make sure it covers the surface evenly, because you do not want to create hot spots which could potentially overheat and destroy the non-stick coating. And number two, the big secret is just clean it gently. You don't need any scouring pads or anything like that. If that's the case, that means your pan is already gone. Gentle pressure water should be more than enough to get all the food off of it, and then a paper towel finishes the job. And that's really about it. Beyond that, it's about storage. Obviously, don't stack pans on top of this. I like to store my pan right on that rack over there so that nothing ever can harm the surface. And now you're just like me. Big Cookware is going to hate you. You're only going to buy one non-stick pan, and it is going to last quite a long time. I've had good success with this. I've never had a pan last as long as this one, and I think I'm onto something here. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below. The cat's already letting me know what he thinks about all of this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.